The following is an exclusive presentation of WI Garden Media, the voice of Garden Talk Radio. If you want to be part of the program, besides just listening and consuming it through your ears or vision through in-studio video replay, you can do that by sending us an email, gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com. Or you can give us a call anytime, toll-free, coast to coast, on the Proclamation Hotline, brought to you by Proclamation Good. That number is 1-800-927-SHOW, 1-800-927-7469.
Proclamation Goods creates cookware for the eco-conscious home chef. Their pans are non-toxic, have a lifetime warranty, and are made right here in Wisconsin. Their award-winning stainless steel Proclamation Duo cookware set is a 12-inch skillet and a stock pot that doubles as a wok. Best of all, the skillet and stock pot hinge together to form a Dutch oven. It's two pans with the versatility of 10, empowering you more to cook more with less. If you care about your health and strive for a more sustainable lifestyle, then Proclamation Goods is for you. Supply is limited, so order yours now at proclamationgoods.com.
As the coldness comes, we are getting into the closing, if not already the close of gardening for some of you. And some of you may have had phenomenal gardens, and some maybe not so much. We plan ahead for next year, which means that we need to build our soil. Just because you had okay or good year this year doesn't mean that the duplication will occur next year if you do nothing about it.
Right, absolutely. So one thing to keep in mind is your soil is alive. And I think it's alive. And I think many people think that it's just dirt, I guess.
Well, there's dirt, there's soil, there's clay, but
it's a living, breathing organism.
Right.
There's anything from organic matter to water to air to decomposers to
good bugs, bad bugs. And you might have some chemical in there too.
Fungi. Yeah.
So obviously the one of the ways in which you can build your soil is simply just going to and purchasing compost from
I have a mushroom joke.
Okay, go ahead.
What did the tomato say to the mushroom after the date?
What was that?
You're such a fun guy, but I just don't see this going anywhere.
Okay. So you can buy your compost from your garden center in Milwaukee. We would advise to use Blue Ribbon Organics. If other places you are residing, you can do a little search of your favorite search engine and type in local compost availability in my area, something of that magnitude and terminology. And you just don't want to go with the first one you find. You want to do a little research, because anybody can make compost. Anybody can cut a tree down and say they're a tree guy. You got to make sure you got some reputation behind what you purchase.
Absolutely. And that is very important to think about where your compost is coming from and how it's going to benefit your plants. Right.
And I bring up the compost purchasing first because obviously everybody would default to make your own, which is great. And we are doing what we can. But nobody that I'm aware of can produce the amount of compost in which they are needing each year in their garden. So you have to supplement it by purchasing compost from reputable sources.
Right. That's important to keep in mind. So you can add the compost, or you can add your own home compost, or you can add aged manure.
Aged manure.
Can you talk more about aged manure?
Aged manure is manure that has been sat in a pile for a minimum of 6 months. If you take cow manure, pig manure, and put it right on the garden, it will burn the plants because it has too high of nitrogen in the manure. It has to age. Now, we're not going to go through the list of rabbit and goat and camel and oxen and all these things of what can you put on the garden, what can't you put on the garden right away. There are some animal droppings or manure in which you can apply directly right away. Others you need to age. In addition to knowing which type you can use, whether it's aged or can be used right away, is what did that animal eat? Mainly because horses and cows now are being fed grain, being fed grasses 100% grass, that the farmer has sprayed the field to make sure there's nothing but grass growing. And that is a chemical that is so persistent that whenever the horse or the cow consumes it, it goes through their system and does their thing and kicks out the back end. And it's just about as strong as it was when it came out of the bottle that they bought it from the store. And this will toxify your garden to the utmost damage that it's irreversible. In a short term, it can be reversed in a very long term, very precise means of remitigating the soil. Joe Lampo, who was a guest last week on the program, he has went through this on his farm, in his garden, where he got aged horse manure that had this persistent chemical in it that the farmer was spraying on the field to kill everything but the grass. And he got it when it was black soil, and it destroyed and caused a lot of problems.
Persistent broadleaf herbicide.
Yes. Yeah. There's many different names under that, company names, but it's the knowing where the source comes from. Great. The cow manure is free. The horse manure is free. Free doesn't always mean good.
At what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? It doesn't. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, Mr. Farmer or Lady Farmer or Man Farmer, what has your animals been eating? Because here's the problem that the horticultural industry is facing and dealing with because of these chemicals in which you are spraying on your fields to kill everything but the grass to feed your horses and cows.
Absolutely. So that's something to definitely keep in mind and be aware of.
Killer compost is the term that you can look for online. You can also go to our website. You can just type in anything, killer compost, and Joe Lampo's information will come up, and it's much more precise than what we're able to cover in a few minutes here.
Right. So you can also add grass clippings. And when we say grass clippings, we mean just like the persistent herbicide that is being fed to the animals. Yeah. There is persistent herbicides that maybe you spray on your grass, or
weed and feed.
You pay somebody else, like a lawn service person. And if you do have that, then you don't want to use those grass clippings. But if you don't spray anything on your grass, you can use your grass clippings. You want to make sure there's no weed seeds in there. And then also you want to let them dry a bit. If
you do, again, use those grass clippings that have been treated with a weed and feed, it's going to stick to even in a compostable form. That weed and feed is still persistent enough that it's a broadleaf chemical, and your tomatoes, your peppers, your eggplants, all those things will suffer greatly in regards to that. Chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings, yes. Shredded leaves, great. We add 2-3 foot of leaves on beds, or raised beds, and by spring they're about 8 inches to 10 inches high, and by June you can't tell that we did anything because they break down and they feed the soil. It's a free resource that not enough people are taking advantage of. That with the leaves, and you can stockpile them, create your own leaf pile, and use them throughout the growing season as a mulch. And you can mulch them with a lawnmower, with a leaf mulcher, and we just put them on the garden whole. True enough, now if you've got giant oak leaves, those are not going to be the water's not going to penetrate through them, and they can create a barrier to prevent moisture from getting to the soil.
Right. And you want to keep that in mind. Those oak leaves are just kind of dense and not as malleable as other leaves, so you can shred them, or you can mix them in with other leaves, whatever option you have. Then there's also the option of doing a cover crop.
Yes.
People use like soybeans or
they'll use radishes. Yeah. They'll use turnips. They'll use rutabagas. They'll use multiple different cover crop options. Rye, wheat, buckwheat, many different options for a cover crop. You can incorporate coffee grounds and coffee filters into your soil to help build. Now, it's not going to be we had 3 cups of coffee yesterday and we put the coffee grounds in the garden and we're going to have a bumper crop. Coffee grounds have a very low nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium availability in them, about 2% nitrogen, 0.5% potassium, 0.5% potassium phosphate, and they are not acidic because that has been brewed out during the coffee making process. So if you're trying to use coffee grounds around blueberries or other acidic loving plants, it's not going to do anything. I know some people will say, well, I've done it for 87 years and I've always had a beautiful blueberry crop. There's other factors involved, and I don't have time to argue with you or prove my point to you. That is not what's going on, because for this instance, science has proven and tests have shown that there's no acidity in the coffee grounds. So you're doing something else to keep your blueberries alive. So those are some of a number of very easy ways to go about fulfilling the task of rebuilding or adding to or keeping your soil healthy for the next growing season. You just can't walk away and go, okay, I've grown there for 38 years, never added a thing to the soil. It'll be fine next year. You got to put in what you take out.
Absolutely. And as our growing season is coming to an end, many of us are now doing other things, and that might include some cooking or making some delicious meat products. And Walton's we're brought to you today by our sponsors, Walton's. We know you care about where your food comes from, but they have everything you need to go from animal to edible. They have equipment, seasoning, supplies to make sausage, jerky, any other meat product your way.
If you need something for butchering or cooking in your kitchen or seasoning, Walton, if they don't have it, probably doesn't exist.
And they sell Excalibur seasonings, which is the exact same ones that the professional processors use. So that's, readily available to you there at Walton's Inc. And then they have meatgistics.com to help educate you all on the hows and whys of meat processing, as well as a community of almost 15,000 users who will give their opinion and guidance on meat processing issues. So you can use code GROW50 to save 10% off of your orders of $50 or more and get free shipping. That's waltonsinc.com or meatgistics.com. For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.